What's going on YouTube? It's your host Bruce GNT, back with another video, and we are back on TikTok. I went through like a really weird vortex of going through TikTok videos, and holy shit, if you're on TikTok a lot, I see why some people act and feel the way that they do. This is a cesspool of just negativity and sometimes right, sometimes incorrect information, and it will just suck you in. It is crazy. And I know it's based off your algorithm, and mine is kind of all, because I keep looking things up to do videos on. I found this video right here, right? And I don't agree with her politics, not all the way, and I don't agree with some of the things that she may say, but she really hit a point on the head when it came to what recently happened with in Texas and with all those missing children, the people that have lost their lives sadly and tragically. Honestly, I didn't want to make a video like this because I don't like making videos basically talking about how, hey, look, this is going on, so you deserve this. I don't like doing that. But we're going to look at her video and then we're going to talk about it. So let's go.
I have to make a video through which I outline why the belief that when natural disasters hit southern parts of the United States, that people believe that this is some sort of cosmic retribution for the way that they conduct themselves democratically or the way that they politically aligned is just repackaged evangelical rapture ideology with the facade of a quote-unquote leftist politics. I have to do this every 3 to 4 months. Because without fail, whenever there is disaster footage that comes from these parts of the United States, again, the South, there is always a bevy of people who consider themselves to be on the left, politically speaking, in the United States, either liberal or leftist or what have you, where they make fun of these populations. And they tell them, I bet you they didn't see that coming. I bet you maybe now they'll think about whether they should vote more. I bet you they'll think now about the future of their children now that their children are missing in this flood. Hey, you don't think that's really fucking evil?
People are making it seem like FEMA was in good standing and had no issues prior to Trump getting in, all right? What happened and what transpired was probably going to happen regardless, like it happens almost every single year. Because with that same logic, what happened in North Carolina and parts of Georgia during that hurricane wouldn't have happened. What happened in parts of Florida wouldn't have happened if that was the case. These are all instances before Trump really got his hands and his mitts on what was going on with FEMA and then other disaster relief. And we had many times before then with other presidents where we had natural disasters and relief was slow to pretty much come out. So to make it seem like, oh, this is all Trump's, it's like, no, it's not. This was already issues that FEMA was already having for the longest time. So that needs to be addressed. And then just like what she's saying, we're going to find ourselves in this really weird cycle of being like, ha 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 ha, that's what you get because of X, Y, and Z, when two things. One, human life is precious. Doesn't really matter where you align politically, because at the end of the day, no one's out here just trying to be terrible people, except for the terrible people, the ones that commit heinous acts like, murder and SA and other things like that, crimes against children. Those people are heinous and don't deserve to breathe. I'll stand on that point. But besides that, a lot of these people are just normal people, and you're clapping. And it's not just the left, the right has done it too, because what happened with LA and the fires, yeah, that was a shit show. So no side is innocent. Both sides are pretty freaking stupid.
Hey, what the fuck are y'all talking about? And there are going to be people under my comment section that are going to say, I'm tired of going high. I'm tired of trying to be the bigger person. I'm tired of trying to expand my morality to these people and care about them. Like, they don't care about us. Like, why should we care about them? Well, the first thing is that it presupposes that there is a cosmic retributive force that is taking it out on the South because of the way that they vote, which again, repackaged rapture evangelical ideology. But two, it obfuscates the very real fact that this is just proof that climate change is real. One, this is just proof that climate change is real and it's coming for us all. Ask California. And namely, they did the same exact thing. They were like, and people on the right did the same exact thing. They were like, yeah, that's what they get in California. That's what they get for their evil liberal ideologies. And these are argumentative positions that are a part of the same kind of puritanical values of the United States, which state that suffering brings about virtue. And it is important for all of us to unwork that level of thinking, and also the thinking that punitive justice is the only justice that matters, the only justice that gets results. If something bad happens to someone, if there are bad consequences for someone that I don't like, that'll mean that now we are cosmically even, and that'll make them make better decisions if we punish them harshly. The other thing I often have to bring up is the fact that, politically speaking, yes, of course, the southern parts of the United States, these red states or whatever, their political alignment is detrimental to the whole of democracy, as we have now seen. But there are plenty of left-leaning, ideologies that have come out of the South that have gotten us to the most progressive parts of the United States of America, historically speaking. And to pretend as if that is not true is not only ahistorical, but it is only detrimental to your education as someone who wants to be politically active in the United States of America. Not even to mention that, like, there is a concerted leftist politics in the South. Some of the most radical leftist politics take place in the South, with varying successes, obviously, but it's still there. And I want you guys to start thinking about how difficult it must be to be someone who's leftist in these arenas and who's standing 10 toes down to do so, and then hearing people who are in a much better position than you, who live in blue states that are insulated from the worst of these legislations, to tell you that you're not doing enough.
She's exactly right. I may not agree with a whole lot of those liberal points of people in the South. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm by no means conservative. It may seem like I am. It's just that as it stands right now, a lot of the liberal takes that people have are, excuse my language, batshit crazy. I don't align with them all the way. I'm more middle, but I'm more so with whatever makes sense at that point in time. So that's where I align. I like that she said this, because this also brings the point whenever people like to say, oh, white people this, white people that, they like to make it seem like, oh, all white people bad. It's the same concept, because they brandish everyone there as the same, and they're forgetting that there's people that may not look like you that are on your side, and they're sitting there going, well, goddamn, what did I do? They're sitting there thinking the same thing, and then this is what pushes people away from you to look at you as a piece of shit, because now they're thinking, wow, I'm actually trying my best to, you know, bring about racial change, and you're just pointing at me saying that I deserve what just happened to me and my family because I'm white. You know, it's the same concept. At least that's how I see it. You may not see it the same way. That's up to you. But it's just kind of insane to me.
Does that not feel crazy? 'Cause it is, huh? Yeah. To discount the role of the South and those living in the South in terms of the progressive political changes in the United States is to cut yourself off from the possibility of what a progressive United States can look like in the future. It is to believe that populations of people are just suddenly incapable of it. We'll just have to leave them behind. Which is exactly what they say. And I'm saying, if you want a more progressive future, it does mean that you are going to have to collaborate with people and drag people kicking and screaming into that future. And that is a difficult moral positionality to maintain, because there is a lot of political resentment you feel. There's historical resentment you feel. There's racial resentment that you feel. There's economic resentment. You are going to feel resentment, but you are going to have to do the proper education to not let that resentment shift the way that you can think about a progressive future. And for surely, at a minimum, you have to use that progressive mentality and morality to not make fun of potentially dead children on the internet. If you find yourself being one of those people that celebrates things like this, I want you to take a break from the internet for a little bit. I do. I want you to take a step back for a little bit.
Not just that, because that's the part that really got me. It's one thing, because people died, not just children, adults as well. That in itself is a tragedy. But the fact that there was children that passed, right? And people were saying all the wild shit that they were doing. Like, honestly, I didn't even want to make a video related to that, because it was disgusting, the stuff that I was seeing. And then not only that, a lot of it came from black people, black women at that. I was disgusted. I was like, I'm not going to make a video like that, because I was going to go off. And I'm trying to change. I'm trying not to curse as much. I've gotten some constructive criticism about my cursing. So I didn't make those videos. I did it. I really wanted to, but no. There was one woman in particular, I can't find her stuff, because I think she deleted it, where she was talking all this mess about white people. This is a tangent. Talking all this mess about white people, and she's married to a white man. Now, I said this in a previous video, I can't remember which one, where it's like, it's always those same black women that have all this mouth about white people, and yet who they laying down next to? Talking about you, Josh. They laying down next to you. Yeah, that's the part that really just, that blew my mind. The things that people were saying, the things that people were just trying to allude to and make it seem like that these innocent children, right, were, I guess, these sacrificial lambs to the sins of their parents, which is freaking asinine to me. It's crazy. And the wild part about it is that they jumped online and made it seem like that they were right, and said it was such like conviction, like, puff my chest up, I said exactly what I meant. How dare you? No one deserves to lose a child. No one deserves to lose a parent. No one deserves to lose their life, especially on something based off of a political ideology. Besides those other people that I said, the people that commit SA, people that commit crimes on children and then just go out there and commit mass murder, yeah, they don't deserve to breathe. That's a whole different story. But those people right there, when you don't even know how they align politically, you clap and laugh? That's demented. So she is right. These people need to jump offline. But the sad fact of the matter is, even if they did jump offline, it wouldn't change anything. That's how they think. That's how they feel. That's in their core. That says a lot.
I want you to maybe go to your local library, get a library card if you don't have one, and start looking at the progressive Southern politics that have shaped this country. And then I want you to come back to me, right? And tell me what you learned. Because learning is important here. Educating yourself is important. Having a holistic knowledge of this country and all of its various kind of components politically, historically, is important. And again, it is important not to wish for the death of children because you don't agree with how their parents vote. I don't want to make this video,
but she probably will, because this happened. This is the third time it's happened, right? Or this is the fourth, because it happened with North Carolina, then with Florida, California. So I guess this is the fourth time-ish that this has happened, where people on both sides, right? The left just more so recently, right? And I think more times than not, people on both sides came out and said, this is what you get for thinking this way. This is what you, and it's like, what's wrong with you people? These are human beings. These are babies. These are children. And this is what you think. This is how you feel. Honestly, it doesn't matter how far off the internet you go. This is you, a putrid, terrible human being. If you wish for something like this on someone that you don't even know. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. I mean, I didn't even want to have to make this video because, like I said, I'm trying to curse a little bit less. And the people up here that I've seen come out of their mouth saying that the pure dumbassery that they have been saying, yeah, it's crazy. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment down below, tell me your thoughts. At this point, when it comes to certain points, there's certain things that if you don't agree with me, then you might just be not a good person. And in this case, if you want to justify the death of children, yeah, go somewhere else with that. Tell me your thoughts in a respectful way down in the comments, and subscribe if you want to see more. Peace.